Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day it may be for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Layback Gamer, and we're back with part 2 of our 100 Days of Minecraft Hardcore Cooking Craft Edition. Not going to keep you hanging any longer in the intro since we want to get to the action, so without further ado, sit back, relax, get comfortable, make sure you grab a beverage of your choosing, and perhaps something to eat, and enjoy days 26 to 50 of our Cooking Craft series. Picking back up on day 26, we continue to elevate the land, and after a hard day's work, we start digging out the eventual area to where the lake will be at the top of the aqueduct. We got more than enough dirt to finish leveling off the area for the animal pens too, which is a good thing. Day 27, we started building up the new animal pens and moving them over. I didn't want to make a simple square pen. I wanted to put just a little more thought into the shape. The cow's form is a bit of a plus-like shape. The sheep have an L, and the pigs will likely just have a large rectangle due to their ability to quickly repopulate, as I had discovered in the previous 25 days. And the chickens will be in a coop once I eventually find some. I haven't found any as of making this audio recording, but if we do find some, I will definitely be making a coop for them. On day 28, we got the sheep and the pigs moved in, marking all of the animals have been moved over. I guess I did the cows yesterday, and I forgot to mention that. For the villager breeder, it's not going to be anything too fancy. Most of the time when I build these, it's just a dirt hut with a bunch of beds, a couple workbenches underneath it, nothing too fancy. I also don't have any way to automate it because I got a funny story about that. So I had, on a server, I had decided, it was the first time I made a villager breeder, and I made it an automatic one for 1.14 when the new villager AI or the new functions for them came out. And what ended up happening was I didn't realize that they would just continuously spawn in, so I ended up lagging out the server quite a bit. And when the host was asking, well, what's going on? I said, well, I have a villager breeder, but I'm pretty sure I turned that off, only to go underground to where all the villagers are supposed to be dropped off, and realizing there's a couple hundred of them just sitting at the very end. And I had my ambient sound turned off because I was busy farming away at, I think I was killing mobs or something along those lines. But anyways, yeah, that didn't go very well. So it's for that reason alone, that I will never build an automated villager breeder. But hey, on the good news is, at least for this one, we'll not have to worry about any lag to multiplayer servers if we do go a little out of control with it. We got the breeder hut finally all set up to go. Not sure if the trapdoor addition that we've added in order to try to separate the villagers will be worth it, or even work for that matter, but time will tell. Not that I want to at the moment, as I need to up the villager count inside the actual breeding chamber before sending them out to eventually get jobs and give me emeralds and all sorts of other things, because we need lots and lots of emeralds. Day 30 rolls around, and I just need a few more beds to put in the breeder, and it will be up and operational. Well, I hope. Might have to move it a bit closer to the beachfront. It sort of depends. I remember a while ago that if you build village breeders in the middle of the village and you forget to take out all the beds, then they kind of just try to lock onto them, and it ends up not working out. So hopefully where we got it is far enough away, or maybe they got rid of that function entirely. It's possible. I don't really read all the patch notes for that stuff. Anyways, I tried hunting for some chickens, but I ended up finding what caused a lot of resets for me with trying to make 100-day videos, and that's crocodiles. And I decided to check out of there beyond the soon-to-be lake. Or I checked out the area at the soon-to-be lake. I didn't find any chickens up there, but I did find a spruce pine fir biome. Or I guess like coniferous forest, that would work. And while I already had some spruce, at least I believe I should have had some spruce, I was able to bring home pine and fir trees. And we also found some yaks up there, which was pretty nice. So we'll eventually be bringing those home. I'll return home a little bit later though, mainly because it's getting dark outside, so mobs are going to spawn, and I happen to have spotted a pillager banner roaming across the plains, and I wasn't quite ready to start a raid just yet. Got more beds for the villager breeding hall and created our first complex dish, known as the meaty stew. The first of many, I hope. Minecraft does have some tasty dishes for us to have. Well, at least the modded stuff does. Farmer's Delight has a lot of very tasty dishes, as you may see within the thumbnail of these 25-day parts, and even for the full video too. On day 32, we crafted up some more iron tools, and I went to go collect some sand, because I want some glass. There's a nice small island that I plan to put a lighthouse on someday. That's probably a 200-day thing, provided I continue on to 200 days for this. And as I said earlier, we'll be using the sand for glass. It's for the soon-to-be-built midway up overlook of the village. I got a lot of plans that I could do for here. I don't have enough time to see them all done, but maybe if we go on to 200 days, we might be able to make something work there. On day 33, we started smelting up the glass, and I planted some of the saplings down. I'm aiming for a spruce pine fir interior look for the mid-overlook with some cyan glass panels to add a touch of color to it. I also fed the animals and killed some pigs. Yes, the villagers count in that statement, but they won't be killed. At least yet. Anyway, they count in the being fed part, not the killed part. I wouldn't kill any villagers. Unless they've earned it, that is. Nothing too special the next day. Just chopped down some pine and fir trees and finished the day with a little bit of farming. Day 35 marked the start of some construction. We started placing down the wooden beam supports when I remembered the cyan dye, which we didn't actually have. I decided to try to go hunting for some blue pickleweed. Failing to find some, I attempted to try a green flower. I forget what it was called. I'm pretty sure it should be showing up on screen what it is. I didn't happen to find any. I did, however, spot a pillager outpost not too far away from the village. This seed really is amazing. If we end up lasting long enough, we can just get constant raids going on. Upon failing to find any way to make cyan dye, whether that be through just a flower that makes it cyan dye right off the bat, or any green dye to mix with some blue dye, I'm gonna declare blue as being a good substitute for cyan. Not what I would have went with personally, but you kind of have to make things work with what you got. I got the window for the overlook built up, used some spruce for the area that'll be exposed to the elements, and fir for the more covered up stuff. Honestly, it's not looking half bad so far. A little bit more work needs to be done, but it's looking pretty good. Villagers. We always gotta feed them to make sure we get more villagers. They're a little greedy for food, you see. And they won't take just about anything. They only want the finest breads, or the finest potatoes, or the finest carrots. It's never anything else. They don't want to try any of the delicious food that I cook up. They don't want to try any raw beef. They're just pure vegetarian. Well, I guess technically in Minecraft terms they'd be pure vegan. Because the bread's only made out of wheat, and it doesn't actually require any eggs and milk and that. So I guess that's an interesting thought. Villagers were making a name for being vegans long before it was cool. Or at least some people find it cool. What was I talking about? Oh yes, day 38. We continued also to work on the overlook, and I started to build out the next glass lookout point, which is part of the path up. Unfortunately for me, we hit another blood moon. Not blood room. You know, I guess I don't need sleep that night. Who needs sleep? Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Who needs sleep? Fortunately, throughout last night, we didn't lose another iron golem like the last time. No more needless sacrifices for the iron golems. I got to clean up all the mess that was the mob drops, though, so that was something. I might still take some of those iron golems out for the iron, but, you know, for now, these guys, they're alright. And also, behold what I've created. My temporary dirt trading strip. Not really the haul I had in mind, but, you know, I'm... It's not the main point of this 100 days. If we keep going on, we'll eventually put something up. Something a lot fancier, but this is gonna be, for now, the... I guess, technically permanent solution, since we don't have any plans on trading it for something better. No worries. We also moved 2 villager breeders out from the breeding hovel into the trading hovel. And while one of them wanted to leave for some other place, the other one decided to move in and became a Fletcher. So, time to get trading for some delicious emeralds. It was also on day 40 that I decided to myself that I had set this up wrong. So, how it should be going is, from my position, in front of me should be workstation, where the villager sits, fence gate / fence. Oh wait, no. No, wait, no. Sorry, it should be fence gate right in front, fence or fence gate right in front of me, then the villager, and then the workstation behind that. And these guys are quite annoying to get their spots. They just want to keep running for the hills. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? They just want to keep running. Try to escape from us. Fortunately, none of them suffered any workplace accidents, and we were able to get everything set back up again. So, all in a day's work. And on day 41, we started the day by getting 2 more villagers set up. Tomorrow we'll be adding on a weaponsmith, an armorsmith, and a toolsmith, so I can start to grind for diamond equipment, since my luck with hunting for diamonds isn't nearly as great as I'd like it to be. Mainly because of the deep slate, I believe it's called. I don't remember the block name. Anyways, we finished up the second framed glass lookout. It just needs a little bit of dirt touch-ups to finish, but that can come at a bit of a later point. No rush for that. The next day, we did a large harvest of all the crops in the area, which got a nice collection of emeralds from, by the way. And we also leveled up our farmers a couple levels. Managed to move all 3 diamond equipment trading professions in before the day was done, which is good. Now I'll just need 2 villagers to trade raw meat to, since we have a huge surplus of that. And with that, I'll have all the professions I think I'll need for the time being. I might add a fisherman in, some libraries in, a florist, and a cartographer in a bit later on. But for the time being, this is going to be as finished as I'd like it to be. And speaking of butchers, I got them both moved into place, though at the cost of some of the villagers inside the actual breeding area itself. I kind of wanted to rush this a little bit along, but hey, you know, this is no big deal since I can always make more, and I'm not really in need for any additional villagers anytime soon. And now we have the villagers to help us make a ton of emeralds, which we've spent a lot of time trying to get and obtain diamond gear, as I'd like some nice armor to be able to eventually do something I have planned for the works. I'm not sure if we'll get to it in these 100 days, but it would be very nice if we could. I still got a couple other things I'd like to do before we go out for that point. Well, several things before we go out for that, but just know for now that we got some good things in the works. So I do wish I didn't end up ending this on a bit of an anticlimactic note, but in my notes, all we did really from day 44 to about day 47 is chop down a bunch of trees, and then afterwards, from day 48 to day 50, we just spent harvesting animals and trading with the villagers. So, on camera now, and I'm choosing this as a good spot to put this up, is... well, this was my... How many attempts was this? I forget how many attempts I did to make this, but I went back at the stew recipe. Oh, it was my second attempt. That's right. It was my second attempt? Yeah, I don't remember. It was either my second or third, or I'm not 100% sure. I kind of forget this. But on screen now is the stew that I had made from last time. Only I made a few changes to it. For instance, instead of using lamb, there's now beef. So little cubes of beef that's meant for stew has been added in, giving it a bit of a better color. I did away with the oats that I originally had in it, and I'm not a big fan of mushrooms, so I took that out as well. Honestly, the difference between the two of them with regards to the mushrooms, it wasn't barely anything, so I don't think the recipe ended up losing anything from taking out the mushrooms, which is a good thing. But yeah, this looks a lot nicer. A little bit brighter in terms of color, which is really good. I kind of played a little around with it. Well, I wasn't measuring nearly as well this time around with what I threw in. But, however, I did make sure, this was the one thing I absolutely 100% double-checked, made sure that I would not make the same mistake again. Make sure that I don't add in too much pepper. And the result was it tastes fantastic. It was amazing. Both my parents even took it for a couple of days for lunch, which was nice because the last time it was just me eating it up for a week. And this was really good. I only had it for lunch a couple of days because, well, other people were eating it. But yes, I actually managed to do something really well. And this one, the last one I was happy with. This stew I am proud of. Absolutely very happy of. I got no idea what I'm going to make next, since as of recording this, I don't actually have anything ready to go. I'm thinking I might make a dessert type item next, because I've been looking at a couple of dessert-ish items, and I think I might make one up for you guys to show. Either that, or it's going to be the way I'll make a sandwich on, say, a Saturday afternoon, as a sort of you eat this sandwich, and you're basically good for the rest of the day. You don't really need to eat anything else. You're filled up from it. Yeah, sorry to end this on this episode on a bit of an anticlimactic note. Well, if you're watching the 25-day part, then sorry to end it on a bit of a unclimactic, I had the word on the tip of my tongue and I forgot it already. Sorry to end it on a bit of a dull note, but if you are watching the full video, then obviously we're just going to skip right into day 51. And that's all for this part. I've got something special planned for the final 25-day stretch, but we'll reveal those details in the next 25 days, or at least some of them, maybe. Currently, I have all the footage recorded and most of the audio recorded for the remainder 100 days, so hopefully it's just a matter of time before I get the next part out, and then the final part after that. Similar to last time, how did you like the editing behind this? I did a little bit of change-ups from the last time. I'm hoping I made it sound a little bit better from the original, the first part. I tried to be a little more relaxed with how I described the day by day, even kind of making a bit of a joke day in there, since some of the footage allowed for that. And overall, I just tried to do a bit of a better job. So, did I just succeed? Did I fail? Let me know in the comments, and who knows? Maybe it'll get put into the next video, or at least the next part. As always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's show, and as always, until next time, take it easy.